Alright, hey everyone, how's it going? How's everyone today? I'm gonna unfortunately take the other place off. Let's play. How's it going? Welcome Julian. Welcome in, how are you doing? Oh sorry Julian if I deleted your server, your name on the, deleted your message on the server. That's because I completely forgot you're only supposed to be able to look at the message history, the actual messages, and access it. You're not supposed to be able to write in it. I don't know why, it's kind of just botched it. Sorry about that. Right, so today, you guys may not know what the story is, but one of the videos that I watched on YouTube that really got me into speedrunning Alien Isolation was Stewart the Socks video. Basically what happened is he made this video on an Alien Isolation speedrun, and he wanted to review it, and mainly he did miss out quite a few points or make some key errors, and I thought he kind of I think personally because he's tried speedrun himself, but he's not exactly somebody who can speedrun it. So what I've decided to do is I've decided that it's probably best that I give a review. This isn't a hate review or anything, just a general sort of where he can improve, stuff that he missed out on, because he didn't really explain too many points, but it's basically from a speedrunner's perspective. This run was the run that he commentated on was Cliff's speedrun of 2:33:51. So yeah, I won't review the entire thing, or I'll mainly just point out some of the key bits. We might do some Alien Isolation later. So here we go. I'll just pull it up for you guys, full screen it. Display. Right, here we are. This is the video. I'll need to turn down the volume a little bit of this. Alright, let's do this. This will go on YouTube as well. I will probably put this up on YouTube at some point, or maybe not.
Hello, Stewart here. Welcome. Today I'm going to be providing like a beginner's guide to speedrunning.
I think.
So, you talk just the right amount. So yes, the timer starts right when you open your eye, just like life.
Not. Mission 1 doesn't need too much. I'm going to focus on start mission 2.
Now you're going to notice that he's going to be doing something, this weird crouching thing. It's called silent running, although it's not silent.
Okay, so he says weird crouching thing. Let me clear this up. Psycho running, or silent running, is basically the ability to run without making any noise in this game. It involves crouching, but it does not. It's not a weird crouching thing. What actually it is you hold Shift, W and D, so you're going to be running towards sort of your diagonal right. You then want to make sure you're pointing left, about 45 degrees, maybe a little bit less, or mainly to the side a little bit. Then what you're going to want to do is start moving, and as soon as you start moving, you want to start pressing spacebar every half a second, or repeatedly if your timing isn't perfect. Either way, either one works. Whilst doing this, taking right turns is okay, taking sharp left turns is a no-no, so you want to do it slowly. But yeah, there we go. Today I had so many problems with Windows.
What it is it's strifing sideways but running.
Yeah, so basically I explained the key depths. You kind of just may not know, but yeah. It's good that he knows the name of it though. But Cliffs didn't do it there. Like Cliffs was just running sideways like normally, so that you could grab the prompt for the vent.
I have a modicum of what's going on, okay, kids? Barely. grasp on reality. A little bit more of a grasp on reality.
Okay, so also one thing you should point out, the title is wrong. The title is wrong. This is not an any percent speedrun. This can be misleading a bit, because when you look what he's put here, what Cliffs has got here, it's Nightmare no CC. Any percent is where you are allowed to do crouch clipping. The only way this would make somewhat of sense is if you put no CC, but it isn't often referred to as any percent no CC, it's usually referred to as AM no CC. Any percent allows for clipping and lots of glitches. AM no CC, yes, but not where you're completely skipping missions. So just to clarify that, do remember, if it does have any percent and you see that a time is 2 hours is more than like an hour, it's obviously not an any percent, because any percent usually people will recognise that as any percent CC only. So just to remind you of that, just so that nobody gets confused. Alright.
Look over here. Another thing that players do, speedrunners do, with controls, obviously a lot of them use mouse and keyboard because they do speedrunner. Instead of having a tap, like to put the action forward.
Okay, so he's got the right logistics there, but basically what we do is there is an in-game file, it's a notepad one, and it basically controls the menu of your bindings. Now in the base game itself, doing it in the game, you can only bind to mouse wheel up or down, not both. So what we do is we go in to the in-game files and we have to bind interact and button mash to the mouse wheel up and down, which means we can go up and down. In general, we are basically able to, with one swipe of the mouse wheel, we can very quickly get one of the lever pulls done, and it is extremely quickly compared to mashing E. Controller players, you basically just have to mash A or X or whatever it is, whether you're on PlayStation or Xbox. But he's got the logistics of it right.
Action button to draw onto the vent. Now on the other side of the vent, when the final exits, he'll look up to like the corner where the vent would be, through the vent. You'll see what I mean. And he's able to actually open the vent before he even gets to it.
So basically what he's saying is you can actually grab the prompt to open the vent earlier. Yeah. So what happens is you're actually able to slightly grab a little bit through the wall the prompt. This is not a major glitch. This can be done anywhere as long as you're actually going through this vent. You can grab the prompt early because you do have to wait a little when you're under it for the animation fully before you can do it, but you can open it early, which means by the time you get where you can grab the prompt to exit it, it's already open and available. There we go.
Also, when you get to the vent, wait till you get all the way to the vent and then climb out. Because if you climb out, hit the climb out button before you actually get there, you'll climb out backwards.
Yeah, he's correct, yeah. Does allow you to... That is a correct move, but you can...
Oh, no, not true. Over here is Axel. I don't even know.
So what happens here, this is a bit luck based and a bit to do with the game, and it can be to do with your hardware, but what you're about to do is you'll pass a trigger line. I believe it's right after this bit here, and what happens is Axel, who's hiding here, you can kind of see him if you're actually playing the game, not with this, you know, and what happens is he runs across. The AI sometimes, or the programming sometimes, or with your system hardware, sometimes he will stall. You stop running. He will not. Once he's fully run past, you are able to run again. Often, if he's quick enough and you're still able to run, or he's slow enough but you're still able to run, you can actually see him just disappear into nothing. That's what he does. He runs here and just disappears, right? So that is what happens. It's kind of luck based. There's nothing really RNG that you can do to manipulate this. It just is how it is.
If you look at that, will it go slowly sometimes?
No, this is incorrect. It's based on RNG only. It's kind of luck based. If you get slow.
Depends on how it feels. That was slow Axel.
That's slow Axel. Yep, he's correct there because he's not able to run, and Axel has only just started running. No, it didn't stop. I was just quickly doing something. Sorry about that. So yeah, anyway, right here, yeah. So, what was I saying? Yeah, he's correct. Well, he's not. Yeah, it's slow Axel. He's correct on that, but he's incorrect on the fact that if you look up, doesn't matter. You can't change it.
Sometimes he will actually go quicker than that.
But yeah, that bit's
It
correct.
just depends on how you look at it. Or depends on his mood.
Does yes, mood, yeah, joke for RNG, but not where you look at him. It's completely RNG. I am going to skip straight to this part here.
So then you get to chill in this elevator.
Okay, so one thing he didn't point out that I don't think...
Now, fun fact, if you run around in circles, it makes the elevator go quicker. Sorry.
It doesn't... One thing he forgot to mention, but in fairness, Cliffs didn't get this, and this might have been before it was discovered, but this was a small time save. Basically, you can grab the prompt for that early if you're looking at it in a certain direction and basically pressing yourself up against it. And that means that when the elevator starts going, Axel just teleports in, instead of having to wait for him to say what you're waiting for, hit the button, which usually will take like 5 seconds. It's a nice easy time save, but can only be done in all missions no CC. Basically, if you're actually using this elevator in a speedrun and you're allowed to do major glitches, that is one. But yeah, that's something he forgot to mention. Just want to let you know. But usually, yeah.
It doesn't do anything. It's so good. Check out you.
Okay, so right here, this is another bit, shows you how old this speedrun is here. Yeah, I know, Julian, you can't. This bit here, obviously this was before the Axel Ass clip came about, but obviously I think a lot more people are looking at this. Basically, you can plant a flare looking at a certain point before the elevator whilst he's doing the animation to open it when it becomes unlocked, but you just can't grab the prompt. What you do is you have to plant, you basically bend over forward into it, you can grab the prompt, you crawl through him, and you get ahead of him. So yeah, but obviously at this time, either he failed it or he just couldn't do it.
I'm telling you, Axel's just like wringing this out, milking it. It's off automatically. See, I actually knew something. Completely signed. So you're like, maybe, see, this is Psycho running, right? You'll see. And then he will Psycho run. See, this is Psycho running right here.
Yeah, that's an old strategy. Old strategy there. Quite good. Again, you have to be pretty much perfect on this, because if you make a single step around here, this mark, here, this mark, you can actually trigger them. Also, if you fail this as well, Axel sometimes with his RNG and AI, he can just get killed by the humans, so you do have to be careful.
Let's get to these crates. You can stop, turn around, wait for Axel. Once his crate's like...
Again, this is old. You don't need to wait for Axel. You can just carry on. It's much quicker if you just go forward. Axel will come as quick as normal, and it means you can get the teleport bit up here earlier. So you don't need to do this. This is just an older strategy, I believe.
What's up? Boom. And you know he's gonna be safe. So
You don't know, because it can be defended if all it takes is one fragment of a shot to hit him and he's dead. Like, it goes black screen. So yeah.
Teleport behind you. As soon as you enter this room.
No, he doesn't. You go forward to the door, you then have to swipe and look back, and he'll teleport there, up here.
You gotta wait for him to stop talking in order to be able
Yeah, it wasn't as soon as you enter that room. Oh nice, that's good to hear, Julian. Sorry, I haven't been paying attention to chat too much. Yeah, so Axel just died there, waiting for the
So
elevator.
the alien pretty much will not drop down unless you make a shitload of noise or start.
One thing you forgot here, and it's a little bit incorrect. If you make noise from this point onwards, once you've hit that tram, the alien technically is active, but he's in a state where he's not doing anything. He's in like a timed state. If he's in that timed state, if you make noise, the timer almost hits 0 and he just drops. If you wait too long, the timer almost goes boop and he drops. We found a way to. Oh, this door right here. It's probably, you can probably just do it in Open Cage Julian or CC plus FPS. There's not anything in there though.
Besides that, you're sick. You're just quiet.
Yeah, you're also safe if you get into the tram as soon as possible, but it's quite hard to. So yeah, this is like the only other area where you can get the achievement. This is the quickest way to get the achievement of I think it's a perfect. I don't know what it's called, but it's where you get the achievement of encountering the alien. You can either get it in mission 3 if you get the scripted, or if you take too long here, he'll drop, and because you've seen him, you will encounter him.
Okay. Pretty sure. Regardless of how you approach this woman, she will shoot at you. So you just run up here.
Yep, she would. That's correct.
This little control center thing. You'll automatically crouch too. That's fine. Cause you just
Not always. No, you won't automatically always crouch. A lot of the time, you don't end up crouching when you get to a certain point because you're so quick. You won't crouch. If you don't crouch, often on Nightmare, she will hit you with one shot. One of her shots, I believe, is scripted or designed to not go and hit you, but the other will. And that's basically where you just don't want to, yeah. You want to crouch. Once you crouch there, you can't uncrouch until she's...
It's the lamest Game Boy ever. It has like only 2 games. It's so lame.
Yeah, he's right there.
But it isn't tough. But not even. I mean, the original game was cheap. But this one's backlit, so... So you can...
Right, so... This is, again, he's not got, I believe, the flare to do the risky strap, but the risky strap requires throwing the flare in this room that's over here into the corner. The humans go for it, and you can wait at a corner. The humans will run by, then you psycho run before they properly detect you. Once you've done that, you can then go ahead and psycho run past Heidi, but obviously you can't do that.
Here, but once you get to the stairs, then you psycho run.
Yeah, you can also just psycho run from the get-go. It's probably safer, but you can do this as well.
You can actually psycho run past these people.
Unless you make an audible step in your psycho, in that case, you might be screwed.
Now, outside this door, there's a lock. You want to hit this button?
On the other side, but yes.
And what that's going to do is, you don't have to use the hacking tool because you have to come back all this way. If you didn't push that button, you have to use the tool to get out.
How that works is, it's a bit like how the Boom Boom strategy works. It operates on a 2 sort of system where it's on and off. If the door is locked when the humans opened it, it automatically is programmed to go to do the opposite, almost like add 1. It's a bit like in binary. It will add 1. What it does is when it shuts, it actually recognises it is open. That's what happens. So it's a bit like the Boom Boom strategy, which we'll get into later, if you want. So I was just checking. Right, let's just skip to the...
Have to push the extra button. Keyboard game over here. There you go. That way he didn't have to push the extra button.
He does it, yeah, he's correct on the extra button. How it works is you're basically constantly peeking and constantly doing a diagonal peek using control, A and W, whatever your peek key is. You do it extremely fast. You also need to use the mouse wheel with the E interact to try and grab it, and pretty much it can take a little while, but you grab it quicker and yeah, you get it from there.
Yeah.
It saves a good bit of time, unless you take too long.
If that works, man.
Right,
So he'll crouch up until you get to this part.
yeah, it's scripted to crouch, you're locked into a crouch.
I mean, it's automatic.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you stop. So you go over here. A lot of people, they psycho run up the stairs. I personally don't.
Right, the reason you psycho run up these stairs, this is crucial. The fast strat of mission 3 is to psycho run up these stairs. The reason you want to psycho run up these stairs is because if you psycho run, you actually it's the one area where you alter the RNG. Bit like with Axel, except you can't alter the RNG. It's something to do with the noise, but if you psycho run from there on, or pretty much psycho as soon as you get to the first set of stairs, it should alter the RNG absolutely in your favour, so that the humans are in the right spot, so that when Steve is killing them, you can actually just psycho run to the door. That's how it works.
But I guess psycho running over here does
RNG manipulation, you got it right. But him not personally doing it there is a problem. Here you can run there, but you can psycho run.
There's several different patterns you can get.
Several different patterns, there's about 2 or 3, but ultimately he got one good one, where usually there is a pattern you can get as well, where you're here, Heidi is there, and she starts running, and immediately the alien follows her there. He's still killing, and she's already ran there. This is just this actually gives you more time as well, I think.
You got a pretty good pattern there.
Yeah, he got the best pattern, not a pretty good one. That's the best one.
You gotta be quick, or else it dies. This is where people die.
This is where people die when they botch the hack, or they die because they've ran into Steve, or they die because they try doing this on NMG and Steve RNG just goes after them. Usually, it can be a run ender though if you're doing A and no CC and you don't get the fast strat and you still try using psycho running and you die. So yeah, it somewhat is. Usually this would be a reset if you fail.
This is where a lot of runs end.
Yeah, correct. So that's humans.
Where he's running to.
Yep, you could run here.
Please run over here. Try not to get
You could run over here, but it's probably, I think this is the NMG or this is an older strat, but usually you can just psycho run. And that means that eventually when he spots you, the other android will turn, but he won't be able to get in your way to grab you. In NMG, because he's done the running, he has to go around here, which is much shorter, but you are able to get loot here, but it's a bit of a time saver. Honestly, in Nightmare, you can kind of afford it, because you do get some loot. Highly recommend if you're doing AIM no CC Novice, you don't need amazing amounts of loot, you can literally just psycho run. By the time he spots you, you'll already be around here, where my cursor is, so yeah. He was full on loot as well, that's the thing. You get a time loss, and you don't get the loot. Right, so he goes up the stairs that way, it's good. Okay, so that's an old strat. Cliff didn't immediately go to the back, he went to the corner.
If you were to go to the front, you would have to play like 3.
Okay, this is one thing not many speedrunners know, because they did it so quickly. The reason you hit the back is because it's quicker than going all the way around, but also, the reason you have to play the mini-games is because the android, if you're slow, the android gets there before you. The android in the other room is scripted to go there unless you interrupt him. You go through, you hit the prompt, you don't do the mini games. Even if you go around the front, it's straight to the third one so you can grab it. What happens is the android gets there, he says, this has been locked by Seeks and Communications, whatever. You have to play the mini games. Even if you grab it from the back, you still have to play the mini games. You grab it from the back because it's quicker and it means you're able to run further back towards here, which allows you to get the single door cycle, which is a little bit RNG, but mainly depends on your speed. That's to be in
Over
context.
here it says cycle running because there's one right here.
Yeah.
As well.
You could also
Pass
run
it, you
in
can start
energy.
running.
Yeah.
You might want to turn on your flashlight when you get around this corner.
You also don't have to. You can simply psycho hop, which is running and then repeatedly, normally, shift and W and repeatedly pressing crouch to make more audible steps.
That's going to attract the android that's coming out of the elevator.
Correct.
Come out soon. Sometimes, also shoot him here.
Shoot him close up. That was a bit of a time loss because he ran into him.
Sucked. The android is capable of actually getting into the elevator.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to skip to mission 5. We're going to go to mission 5.
Like once we pass mission 7, actually once we pass mission 9, I don't really know my way around these levels. I don't remember what I'm stupid. Actually, once we pass mission, like once we pass mission 7, but up until, so you go over here, I don't care about Taylor dying.
Welcome back, Julian.
Actually, on this wall, if you grab, like, see what that thing was? Alright, look, he's gonna run past this shit, and then peek grab to get that.
You do not have to peek. Peek is an old one. It's very simple. You can just look through that and grab it because the radius, sort of the area that you can grab it in, is huge for some reason. But yeah, you don't have to peek for that. Again, Cliffs has Cliffs is like, I don't think runs anymore, but this was like early runs of the game.
You could just grab that on the other side of the wall. I don't know why.
You can, but you need to know the specific area to look in. If you're not quick enough, it could be a time loss. That's why he runs in, then runs back, because this whole sequence will start. And as I just said, because it starts the sequence, you're saving time.
It's stuck in an animation, so you can actually keep on running. And
Yeah.
it's taking some time, but
I'll explain this very quickly, just to clear it up a little bit clearer. Basically, when you're dropping down, you use the revolver, break the camera, go past, or break the camera lock. Steve is in an animation. Whilst that vent is burning, it takes him ages to get down, and then he's got this raising bit where he takes ages, and there's a couple seconds where he moves one way before he actually becomes properly sort of active. During that, once you get to a certain point, you're kind of out of his hearing range somewhat, so it's very difficult for him to get to you. Yeah, you basically only have to run, as Julian in my chat just said, you only really have to run. Make sure you hit the 1702 door code here as fast as possible. You can psycho run. Once you've run in and got on the card, you can psycho run after that. If you're doing Nightmare and you think Steve might have, and you're a little bit slow, you can psycho run. Steve might have heard you. That's absolutely fine, but you can mainly just run. So because you can just run, I'm going to skip this bit. Right, so here you can also, in NMG, you can run out, and as soon as you get to the stun baton and grab it, you stop running. But yeah, you can psycho run.
you can psycho run all this way.
One thing Cliffs did that we don't really do anymore is he pressed that one for the third one where you need the fourth one. Often you just go straight for the thing, and what you do is you do it, then grab the loot. So again, time loss.
Don't make any noise. If you make like 2 or 3 steps, the alien will drop.
Yep, correct. And if the alien drops and you've aggroed him, you've sort of done what you call aggro in this part, because he's kind of just chilling. Again, unless you make noise or you take too long, if he drops down, you've actually put him into the aggro state where he can repeatedly drop down and mess up the AI. So again, you don't want him to drop. Yeah. This bit here, don't need much. Psycho run here.
Over here, the pearl, I think it's 05. I don't remember. What unit is it? No, he doesn't even know. 25. Fuck.
Yeah, it's 2505.
I'm dyslexic. Okay, so
Highly recommend you grab the Molotov blueprint as well. It can be useful in a sticky situation. Even though you do eventually get the Molotovs, it's still on the way, you might as well grab it. So yeah, but Clifton, I guess you can get away without it.
I'm gonna give him myself. So get the flare out. Once you pass the door, open the flare, whatever it is, get it ready. Throw it over there in that corner. What that's gonna do is attract the people.
You can.
Whatever it is,
Oh.
get it ready. Throw it over.
You can, where my mouse cursor is right there, you actually really want to throw it there realistically, because it still grabs their attention. That one, I guess, there is probably more effective. You can also do it there. I guess it's on Nightmare, they're going to notice it, but highly recommend you throw it here. It is easier on the way as well to throw it.
Over there in that corner. Or not one more.
So he got an early beep here, but the humans passed, so he did get it, yeah. Yeah.
Rock. For now, the two next to it.
So the android in this room can't leave, so you're fine.
The alien can get you.
He's going around this way. This is highly recommended you go this way. The door, the humans will probably be have the door open.
Be careful of the people, because they are around too.
Yeah,
This whole mission's a fucking mess.
there's Kevin.
Once you pass this shit, you can start.
Yeah.
Yeah, this animation is ridiculously loud. I could just talk over it, but I want you to go deaf, so there's not much to say. Elevator, and then you're on to mission 7. That was very good. So the alien's active once again. Be very, very quiet.
In that beginning area, you can run to that vent as well. Perfectly fine in LMG. You can run to that vent. He won't drop. Even in Nightmare, you should be fine.
What to say?
I'm going to say this because he hasn't said this. This is the mission where most likely it goes wrong, especially on Nightmare. But yeah.
I don't mean just like rapid.
So, right here, he got the perfect pattern. Jeremy is facing away. The twins are busy chatting. He goes round. This is an older strat. This is an older and slower strategy. This is old.
You psycho run past them.
The alien is now going to kill them, because how this works is as long as you don't mess up with the humans or get them to... As long as you don't distract the humans, make noise, or get Steve to drop beforehand, this scripted drop will happen, where Steve basically drops and kills them.
Still get pissed off.
If they get... Yeah, if they do what he says, then yeah. Right, so here, I believe this is an older strategy.
Quietly.
Yeah. This is the older strat. You'll see what I mean.
Kill them. So this is suit up. Futon girl.
Because he can basically grab that prompt, and just like this with any sort of hacking tuner or no tuner at all, you can grab the prompt in a certain area you're not supposed to, and you'll pull out one out your bum. This is an older strategy, because what he's going to do is he's going to activate the android. Whilst he's activating the android, he's going to pick up the version 2. Then he's going to let the android open the door. But this is the slower strategy. The better one is to just get the save, grab it, go round, get the humans to open the door. That's quicker. It saves a good chunk of time. And this one you can take a while to get the grab as well. Even if you're quick as he is, you can still take a while, and it can more of a time loss.
You can grab. Be able to. And stuff, so then you'll be able to grab more stuff. So you run all this way. There's a scripted event at the top of the.
Okay.
Weird little while looking down.
Yeah. So you look down at that bit, and it works. It basically allows you to grab thing. But as soon as you press it, you need to do the brace. Otherwise, you'll be time wasting, because it will already be open and you'll be doing the brace. So. So he places a flare in there to distract the human. This works well because when the android comes out, he will target the human immediately, because the human is there and the flare is there. This is where the plant clip comes into play.
What he did was he made sure that the guy would stay in the elevator.
Make sure the guy will stay in the elevator.
So now this is a new thing, relatively new.
Okay, highly recommend you look at that little smudge on the wall. You can aim at it and that. This was a relatively new thing in speedrunning back then, I believe. Relatively old now. But yeah, you basically bend forward, you get the prompt, you basically crawl through it. highly recommend do not open this behind it and then walk out, because otherwise you actually soft lock the game, and the only way to actually get to sort this out is to plant clip the elevator button to get back and then CC plus FPS through the door, otherwise you're soft locked and you have to reload.
So you're able to completely bypass grabbing the torch. And by the time they come there, people are at the trap. You shoot it up those stairs after you call for the...
Yeah, you shoot the revolver out of those stairs. It's highly recommended you do, because if you're doing looting and you're coming back, when you leave somewhat of a certain radius, the tram actually does take a... Basically, it will start the animation of where it's come back once you get back to it after a certain time, and if you do take a bit too long, humans will be here, you'll be screwed, so I highly recommend you shoot that revolver. You can spare it. At this point in the mission, as long as you've got at least 4 magazine or more than 4 bullets or 3, you can spare it.
The trap. It's trapped.
Don't need to worry about mission 9. Yeah, you can say what he's explained here is he's explained he presses the tram and he goes back around to loot. Highly recommend you do this. If you don't do this, you're missing out.
So I believe the alien is active at this point as soon as you get out of the...
He's active pretty much since the start. Active pretty much since the start, but yes, you're right. See Psycho in here?
Once you're actually deep in the lobby, you are able to run. I'm not sure where
No, do not believe you are.
You know what? It's once you get up the stairs, you can start doing the game. So, there you go.
Yeah, you can start running up the stairs, that's fair. The reason you can do this because of the dialogue, but you can Psycho run here if need be, because it's probably safer, because sometimes he will drop doing this.
You can run all this way. As soon as you activate these buttons and stuff, then the alien will be active once more. If you're bothering to do a speed run of this game, you know what's going on. Exposure to the game. Gonna do that clip again.
Yeah, he's going to do a planted clip, but this one's even trickier, but it's extremely useful.
So you don't have to go around.
But you have to use a flare. If you use anything else, it'll blow up, and if it's a pipe bomb, it'll kill Ricardo and you.
I like how he looks at you like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah, he tell.
Listen up, idiot.
Yep, so he does this.
For the red door to open, it takes a while for that.
Right, so this isn't.
So then you gotta wait for the red door to open. It takes a...
This is an older strategy. The newer strategy is in the room where you do that hack before everything locks down. You actually want to do a little bit of looting, but then you want to be at the vent where he's scripted to drop. Once he drops, you want to flame him, then head to the door you just went through, the other red door you just went through where Ricardo was. Because you've actually just unlocked the brace, well, I don't know if he did, but if you unlocked the brace, what it allows you can go back through and you can skip going round. Very useful.
Wow, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go over here.
Okay, yeah, that's what he does, okay.
Close that.
No, you don't need to, you just flame Steve. Again, older strategy though. Yeah, if there's no Jeremy here, you can just go here. This guy kind of inactive, unless you're coming from here, he kind of activates, but if you go around him here and just run, he's kind of not interested. I've had a human shoot me and he's not been too fussed. So again, yeah. But it was lucky, yeah, because he went through there. You can run here. Yeah, so he's gonna run at this. Yeah, he's going to sort of do a little bit of a run and then grab it. Very simple. Also, he is Australian, by the way, Cliffs. Right, so he does that. That's usual.
Alright, so Alien is still active. Pretty much active. Furthest possible point. As to why this thing doesn't just... Or it's pretty random where it heads out, so...
No, he will always go there to inspect the button, and then it's somewhat is random, but it will usually be he goes around that way. It's pretty much always that, unless he spots you, it's that way, so it's not really random. I believe Stewart the Sock did try to speedrun this game, but I, again, wasn't too clear on how he put forward what there is. Isn't the most amazing beginner guide, and title's kind of wrong. It's okay.
So you're gonna go over here. You're gonna run over to this Harold. Well, first you gotta go to the fence. Harold's the little mopping machine thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Oh, he actually, could barely see it. He shot the stun at the same time.
Yeah, so what he did is he did the long range stun and baton glitch, which basically, as you press left click on the stun baton, you let go of the right mouse button. That unlocks you to peek. You peek forward, and it just zaps. It can go through windows and stuff, and it can go through open air, and stuff and fences like that. Can't really go through walls though, but it can go through windows where you can see. Yeah, some of us do. There are people who are able to cancel the peak when they do it as well, so it looks like they've just done a normal attack. So again, he just runs past. He did botch it. What you want to do realistically is you want to psycho run. You want to psycho run, but you want to sort of go around, or you kind of want to hope that RNG is in your favour, that there's another human nearby, because otherwise he would have had to have just shot one android. He got grabbed there, so he only shot one, but he... So, big time loss actually. Yeah, you can psycho run and then you can just psycho run back, it'll work. There is sometimes a sniper guy here, you do have to be careful. If there is a sniper guy here, just make sure that you're, sorting it out. But there isn't, so he's absolutely fine.
I mean, it could sometimes be...
Yeah, this bit is pretty simple. You can actually go back through here, and you won't have to deal with many androids. It is a bit of a time save. It's useful in kitty mod, I think, mainly. But you can do it in the base game. He's just trying to avoid the android here, because obviously the android's running after him. Yeah, everyone can get in the tram. If they get in the tram, you can't use you can't do the tram prompt.
Here, let me glance at that, actually. See what he's doing. And then climb up, it's already open. Open it. And then climb up, it's already open.
Another way to do Super Ripley is to shake your camera around and hit the prompt. This will cause Super Ripley, which basically unlocks your camera, and it means you can grab this prompt early. Usually if you're quick enough, I guess you can do it, but it's like, that's old. Usually shake your camera about. Yeah, so if you activate this one and the other one that's in a separate room, an Android will activate. So the best way to not have to deal with a quicker way can be, you can, if you're quick enough, you can just psycho run past the Android and do the two, but sometimes it's better to do. So yeah, but if you do this one, do the other one, then do another one, he will activate the only other one, but usually you can just do those two. You can go through the doors. It's not an invisible wall, it's CC plus FPS, but not in this category. But yeah, you can CC plus FPS through any door pretty much.
Run to the door, and then run all the way back to this one door in the corner. You will always have to shoot him in the head. That was fucked.
Yeah, it can be a bit annoying to do this. I highly recommend. Yeah, it doesn't usually happen, but the best thing to do, probably the best thing to do, is to just do the shotgun thing and then do the shotgun cancel again. In Novice, you can do this and it works, but in Nightmare, you probably want to do the double shotgun trick. You don't do that loot. So that room that usually you want to, the game wants you to prepare you for a fight, you can just skip that if you get the card there. Go in, do this whole bit, come out, call the tram, grab the loot, and you get a whole bunch of free loot. It's amazing. Yeah, just psycho runs here. This isn't really too important. Oh yeah, so this was before the camera break glitch was discovered, but right, so around,
Healed a while ago. I don't know.
so you see over here, the save point, you can't quite see it, but it's somewhere over there, like right past on the right to where my mouse cursor is, right here. You can basically use a medkit and a flare to break your camera, then you can sort of peek and grab the prompt through here and skip this entire bit. That was discovered way after this. The strategy for this though is still used often if you're not very good at practicing, where you basically just psycho run past, or run past.
He just got spotted by a few.
But yeah, he triggers the Joe to go back there so it doesn't chase him and trigger all his android friends. He didn't do the peek to get the gas mask attached to him. You can do that if you want to, if you feel you're going to get grabbed. I highly recommend it.
Here, turn that on, turn that on. And then, and then
You just need to, on one side I believe it's the left, you need to do, on this side I think you need to do 3 to the left. The other side on the right you need to do 4, you need to actually 4, any 4 just needs to be 4 to power them up. It's not random.
So now you're gonna go climb towards the outside of the city.
That's cool. No, you don't need, just for that bit that you pass through in the first bit, but you can get a glitch, a sort of minor glitch where if the android tries to grab you, it puts you to the other side of him. It's quite cool. Genuinely, you only want to do it in this mission. If you do it in any other mission, it can have some serious complications.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're not too far off finished doing this actually. I skipped a good bit of it that I know that he's either correct on or isn't really. You don't need to worry about too much. So yeah, just doing this. Right. Oh yeah, so this bit here, usually you can also plant clip using an EMP. However, it's similar to how Mission 8 one works, it's harder. But if you, highly recommend, since it's quite finicky and difficult to do, might as well just cut this. You've got the ion torch, it's quite quick. But if you're going for world record pace runs, you need to be able to do it.
So you're gonna do this one first. It's more of these turning on things.
Yeah, there is a certain order you have to do this one first. The droid doesn't activate pretty much if you're quick enough. Right here, he'll activate. So he ran there to trigger him to look in that direction. Yeah, so he'll, yep, he's correct. He'll basically look there. Yeah, he'll walk forwards, and then yeah, he's leaving. You don't have to do anything to him. Okay, so what he's going to do here, he's going to wait. He waited a little bit, I think, or he probably didn't. He psycho ran here, but so what's going to happen here is there is a possible crash. As you're entering here, you do want to be a bit slow. If this guy hears you, or you run too quick, this guy can hear you, not go through the door thing, and it never shuts. What then happens is there's an invisible wall. Even if you trigger the thing where you open it up, there's still an invisible wall, and you're soft locked, unless you do CC plus FPS. But, yeah. So what you do here... Yeah. So if the droid goes there, you can either run... So the droid will start hitting you. If you're low on health, highly recommend you use a noisemaker or a flare, and as soon as he walked out, you go in, because what happens is you can then evade him. Because now what Cliff's... Yeah. That's quite lucky actually. The android did not spot him on the terminal. Usually the android would spot him. Very lucky, but very risky. It's an old strat as well. Done. He can't catch up to you to that bit. Yeah. Also, you can just shoot them, and when they're like right up close to you, you can use a bullet. And technically they've grabbed you, but since you've shot them, it's been cancelled. What happens is, the other androids for the next 10 seconds cannot grab you, all they can do is punch you.
I'm thinking of something else. I'm sorry. This is like... So I can't...
Nest was relatively simple, there wasn't really too much. The alien is scripted to drop around here behind in that vent to try and almost like a last stand to try and grab you and chase you out. But usually what happens is he often if you're quick enough, yeah, sometimes he won't, but usually he's scripted too. Right, so here he's just gonna, I think, run around and do some stuff. You don't really need to do much.
As soon as you like are, so we just fucked that hardcore. I always do.
So we've got a bit of a time loss here. So here, I believe if I'm correct in Mission 12, one thing you can do for Mission 15, if you've unlocked this in Mission 12, if you do that, what you can then do is when you are in NMG, you can basically just run. If you're doing Novice, or Nightmare even, you can just run, the alien will drop, you can use like a shotgun or something to stun him, and you can basically run and YOLO for the elevator really quick. But if not, you can literally just do this. You don't do much here, you just psycho run up here. Android will always see you, not most likely, always. If you're psycho running though, he's never going to catch you. Never going to catch you.
After that, you can run like this. But then once you go through there,
Yeah, you can run in that. That room seems to be a bit finicky, he doesn't really drop. But he is right on that point.
I don't even remember what it's called, but anyway, on this ship, the only real threat is
Yeah, this bit's relatively easy to do. There's nothing too major in terms of a glitch to do in this. So we're just going to skip right to Mission 16. Yeah, this is...
why you want to kill most of these guys.
It's because they have... Yeah, you... Wait, let's see what he says actually.
On this part, you do have to run back. You will read this again.
Okay, so he didn't quite say the main point. The reason you want to kill these guys, especially on Nightmare, is because they have revolvers. There are about 2 revolver guys. If you are doing this on Novice, AM no CC, even NMG, you can literally just get away with using like your flamethrower to just quickly burst, or use a weapon of some sorts to scare them off a bit. You can use that because they won't do enough damage as long as you're high enough on health. In Nightmare, you need to use the Molotov though. So in Nightmare, you definitely should do this, but you have to.
These little things. So you can actually do that thing again with these little thingies and then go there.
Yeah, you can grab this loot, but you can only do it with this one. He's also one thing, well actually you don't need to do this, but if you're doing NMG, you can actually plant a Molotov right there, so when Steve crawls out and goes to the vent, he actually gets scared to go up into the vent. This is highly effective, meaning when you get to the later point in this mission, he won't drop in your way. So he hits this to... Because I believe what he's done is earlier he would have killed the humans, thrown a pipe bomb at the humans. Oh, I don't care about stupid YouTube notifications.
You didn't kill those people,
Yeah, so he will usually kill the humans, as Stewart the Sock is saying. However, since he's used the pipe bomb to kill the humans, he wants the alien to up vent. So he's banging the window, because Steve can't get in here, to make him up vent. And what he does is he'll automatically walk towards the vent. This gives you enough time to psycho run all the way back to the elevator without him dropping. he automatically drops into that vent. You can't actually get into that vent. It's locked. You can't get into it. It's been locked down. So what you do is you cycle around here. He will come out of here, but if you're quick enough, you are able to dodge it. So the alien, there's no hissing, didn't spot him.
This is why he killed everyone.
But yeah. So yeah, because you kind of scared him off, I think he got a bit lucky as well. It usually...
Alright, so this is interesting.
So usually if you had a stun baton, in energy you'd use the stun baton charge to kill the human, because stun baton is his most lethal weapon in terms of the noise it makes. It makes no noise. He's using... the one thing he did that was a problem, he ran, he made a bit of a running step so the human ran there. What happened is he's thrown a flare there. Because he's thrown a flare there, a bit like how the humans are in Mission 7, what he's going to do is he's actually going to go to that lever. And what's going to happen is, Cliff's is going to be fast enough where he's going to be able to trigger the door thing to be unlocked, and the human will automatically open it. The human then deals with the face hugger without making the alien drop. I've not really done this too many times, it's quite tricky. It's a bit luck based. Okay, so he does have the stun baton charge, that's why he takes care of the human. The face hugger kind of despawns or is dealt with the human. So yeah, because of that, what's happened is the alien has sorry, I was just closing something down. The alien basically cannot like he won't drop. He uses that stun baton to kill the human without making any noise, and yeah, because it opens it up, it deals with the face hugger and it's quicker. Yeah, so he doesn't know what happens to it, but basically he does that because the human deals with the face hugger. Strat that doesn't always work, sometimes it doesn't work, but if you've got a flare you can do it.
Into this hall. We're going to use a flare. That flares work too. What that's going to do is going to track the alien.
Yeah. Yep, it is.
So there's going to be an android around here who can run at this point.
Yay.
With the android, so we're going to grab you. And start cycle running into the room. The alien will drop in this room, but only for a little bit. So what he's going to do here is a key card set. He's going to reach for the key card through that little crack. So what that means is you don't have to go all the way to the computer to grab the code and then go to
Yeah.
the machine, unlock the box, you know, it saves time. Okay. Just listen to me. You know what I'm talking about.
Somewhat, yeah.
Get a flare out.
Sometimes Steve is scripted to walk down here and jump into this elevator. If he is, just wait, you can usually hear him. He comes around where this dead human body is, he comes around, bit of a scripted creepy part, jumps up there.
You run into this hallway. This flare.
Yeah, so he drops a flare.
So when you swing with your axe, it just drops the flare. That's
Yeah.
because we're here running and everything up the hallway.
Okay, so this strategy here is basically to distract the human. Another strategy you can do, which done at NMG and I do in AM No CC Novice, is you can turn around, if you have a Molotov, throw it at the alien through, and the blast radius will hit go through the window, hit the alien, and he'll go up. You can also drop the flare.
As soon as he goes around this corner, you'll see the alien walking towards him. See?
Yeah, because the alien goes back around and then he'll go to the flare.
So after this point you can run. You'll run into the alien, but just flame it when you get here. Because it's an animation.
Yeah, flame it. Doesn't always work though, sometimes he'll barrow you down or get you.
And then it'll fuck off once you flame it. So you could run all this way.
It's like a run, yeah.
Cycle running to get into the hallway. Because you ran in that area where they tried to kill you. Go.
Actually no, he runs because the alien, he doesn't need to deal with the alien, and it's quite quick because he doesn't have to start turning about when he's doing the cycle running, so it's a bit quicker, that's why he does it. making noise. That's where where he's trying to attract the alien, because this vent right here is where Steve is most likely to drop again. It's one of those things where it's trying to make a last stand, and it's also because of the character tree of the alien. And then yeah, he can just run there. You can run here because during the dialogue the alien's not active. What do you get there? Psycho run.
So you don't have to go downstairs to activate these little things.
You mean underneath in the vent, not downstairs? Because downstairs is leading to the terminal. You basically go under the vent. Also, that's a huge time save you got there. That was mission 17. But yeah, you can just go down into the vent. There'd be a little small section you go into that Steve can't get into that you pull the lever on. This you can grab the prompt from a certain radius, bit like in Mission 5 grabbing the pipe bomb, something like that, or in Mission 7 trying to grab the clip. You just grab it, the prompt, and you can, yeah, you can basically just hack it.
Usually, if you play the game correctly,
Oh, I don't think he mentioned it, but Cliffs is playing in Italian because it saves 30 seconds faster, because it's 30 seconds faster than the language pack of English. French is half a second faster, but speedrunners prefer Italian, but I think French is very useful for CC plus FPS, where it's like 9-minute runs.
So he just did that to distract it.
Yeah, he does that.
As soon as you go out the store, alien will drop. It's animation.
Yeah, you don't need to do that in Novice, it's Nightmare. Yeah.
Over here, there's maybe another alien. Fuck off.
Yeah, because of the EMP, but you don't again know to do that. You could deal with him.
This is okay.
Yeah, he's in the scripted part, so he's fine. Yeah, he's doing hugger boost. And he's using the flamethrower because the flamethrower is the best one to do it with. Because if you do it with the flamethrower, you'll always kill the face hugger.
So now, one of them, the other one is right away.
So yeah. Yeah, not much is done here. I'm going to move to double pins. Yeah, so basically the double pin glitch, just to explain it, is you basically wiggle your camera around as you are about to press E for one of them, and as soon as you press E, you wiggle your camera around, grab the other prompt, and what happens is it causes both pins to go up because it'll switch to that pin. There's a bit of a stutter, and what will happen is you'll be able to see the other one go up. You can also hear with the audio that it's doing it.
Hold my hand. Hold it.
Yeah, he's on the last bit.
There is still a chance for him to die. I have seen someone die in this fight.
Very, very rare. You basically just have to go move backwards, and you're fine. Oh, he's got skill walk. He got skill walk.
Okay, we got fast walk.
Or skill walk. It's called skill walk, not fast walk. That's the actual term. You can call it fast walk, but it's called skill walk. Even though it's not judged by skill, it's still called skill walk for some reason. There we go. So, there we go. That's it. That's my review. Yeah, this is good. This is my review of Stewart the Sock's run on this. I am actually right. So, thank you so much for joining. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. Fun to do a review.